Are you ready to invest in yourself today? Welcome to the WealthBuilders Podcast, where investment leader Billy Epperhart teaches you how to build wealth through applied biblical wisdom. Scripture says in Deuteronomy 8:18, "Remember the Lord, your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth." At WealthBuilders, our goal is to teach you how to build wealth through applied biblical wisdom in your finances, your business, and your investments.
Well, hello and welcome to this week's Wealth Builders Podcast. I'm so glad you joined us today. And we have a super special podcast on the final podcast of 2022. I have got my friend and associate coach, real estate coach, and business coach with me, Frank Pulley. Welcome, Frank.
Thank you, Karen. Appreciate the opportunity to speak to everybody.
Oh, we are so happy to have you on. And those of you that know Frank is such an expert in real estate. And he also works with our wonderful attorney, Bill Bronchek. They're a really powerful team. And we're just so blessed, Frank, to have you as part of the Wealth Builders coaching team. We're keeping you really busy this year.
Yeah, but the blessing feeling is very mutual, let me tell you.
That's so sweet. Thank you. We are in a series where we're featuring our speakers that are going to be at the Wealth Builders Conference and touching on the topics that they kind of specialize in. And Frank is an expert in real estate. And I just want to remind you that you can still get tickets for the Wealth Builders Conference. It's February 17th through the 19th. We have limited seating in person. So if you can make it, go ahead and get those tickets now. Go to wealthbuilders.org/events and you can learn more about it. Or if you want to join us by live stream, we really have a great experience in family that is on the live stream as well. You can go to that same place, wealthbuilders.org/events, learn more about it and get registered. So Frank, as we look into 2023 and the market, my goodness, there's so many different reports out there. So we are looking forward to getting your expertise on what we can expect in real estate. So I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Karen. Well, fortunately, unlike many investors, we have the Lord on our side to provide some guidance and some reassurance. But a lot of people are asking, we hear all of these stories about real estate. We hear good things on the news. We hear bad things on the news. We hear good things from people at work, bad things from people at work. We just don't know what to believe. So, people are always asking, is this the right time to buy real estate? And a few facts here. First of all, I think the market is going to soften over the next few months, but it's not going to be like it was 10 or 15 years ago, where we actually went through a huge downturn of property values. I don't think it's going to be that bad. There's still too much demand. But you also have to be educated. And that's where we come in. We're going to be speaking at the Wealth Builder Conference about, what are the things that make a good deal? Here's the thing. If you know how to make a good deal, what does make a good deal, unlike many investors, they're going to choose to sit out the next 12 to 18 months. And although for some that might be the right choice, I think they're going to miss out on some really great opportunities. And let's face it, even in a soft, decreasing market, there are deals to be had. I was back there in the mid-2000s, and I made good money during that time. It's just a matter of being educated and know what the strategies are. But some of the things that you need to be aware of that we'll talk about again at the conference are, you have to be aware that laws and regulations change. Tax laws can change, local laws can change, etc. There also can be some local markets that run different from the norm. So you have to kind of look for those areas. In Denver, for example, we have an area called Washington Park area. Even during the greatest downturn of property values, it never hit them at all because it's such a high demand area. But you got to develop your real estate knowledge because education is the key. Philippians 4:6 says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. So let's talk a little more about some facts. First of all, new home construction. Well, over the past few months, the last few years, you've probably seen, you've gone a lot of places and you've seen a lot of new construction, and that's true. New construction has eaten up about 22% of the new builds, which is kind of in competition, so to speak, with existing single family homes. But builders are stepping up their efforts, but they say that housing starts will fall even further in 2023. We have mortgage rates approaching 7+%. I guess the Fed's going to take another look at that possibly tomorrow. We have some demand, but we also have some weakened demand because people have been priced out of the market because of they can't afford the mortgage payments at a higher rate. And so that's going to affect especially first generation prospective home buyers. But there are some opportunities if you know what to look for. First of all, there's going to be some competition amongst the new builds, the different companies, and ongoing projects may cause home builders to slow construction down, lower some prices, and offer more incentives. They might offer, upgrades of carpet, tile, bathrooms, that sort of thing. Competition between new and existing already built homes may provide some opportunities for investors if you know what to look for. Now, here's a good thing. With construction slowing down the rental markets, rental rates have continued to rise, and they're still supposed to hold steady and possibly rise because people that can't afford a new home, where are they going to live? They either stay where they're at, or if they're a new buyer, they're going to rent for a while. So if you're a landlord, that is really, really good. I'm just looking at the graph that I pulled off of Zillow, and they are expecting a maximum price reduction of around 14%. I think that's actually a little too much, but based on our demand still. But, we lost 30% in the Great Recession, so to speak, back in the mid-2000s. So this is not a bad thing. You just have to, again, be aware and use the formulas, et cetera, that we'll give you at the Wealth Builders Conference as far as when it's time to invest in a property or not. So, there's still strong demand for long-term rentals and even vacation properties. I'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. People are traveling, and plus slightly dipping real estate prices and slowing sales are making it easier to buy properties if you're going to be a landlord. And, there's people that have been in the stock market, and pullback in stocks and bonds is also encouraging investors to get returns elsewhere. So with low unemployment and wage increases, qualified renters are abundant. These people may not afford a house, but they're going to be able to afford rent. And if you are pulling your money out of the stock market, which I've done some of mine, and I know Karen has done some of hers, we put it into real estate because that's almost, if you buy right, it's almost a surety. So one of the things that has provided some competition is investors pulling out of the stock market have kind of gone up. BlackRock, I think, is one company that has bought a lot of properties. Investors actually bought nearly a quarter of U.S. single-family homes last year. So that may have driven up the price a little bit, may have made the inventory a little less, but it has driven up rent for suburban families in the process. And these companies are getting to the point where they're fairly saturated. They don't want to overextend, not exactly knowing where the housing market is going. And we're not talking one house. We're talking maybe 1,000 houses. So in that situation, they are a bit of a competition, but I don't think they're going to be a huge factor in buying a property if you know what to look for. Again, as I mentioned before, a lot of investors are sitting on the fence. waiting for the next 12 to 24 months. But when in principle, that might be a good opportunity if you know what to look for. And again, we follow formulas. It's not by guess or by gosh. I mean, and if the numbers are right, you have a great chance of success. Also, there's an increase in foreclosures, and those might allow to have a few extra properties on the market, which, might be potential for a good investment. All right, let's see. Oh, there's also COVID fatigue. A lot of landlords went through the COVID and had a few people that didn't pay, and they're really tired of the market right now. And so they're looking to sell their portfolios. Myself, Bill Bronchick, and others have found that is a really good market right now. And again, one great opportunity for those of you that are a little bit experienced in the market is mixed-use buildings. These are these buildings that have maybe a restaurant or a number of shops on the first floor, maybe offices on the second floor, and then from that on up, 10 floors or whatever, they're all apartments and stuff. And those have been very popular. And it's a safer investment because you're diversifying your investment across multiple types of properties. And let's face it, if you have a single family home and it's empty, you're 100% unoccupied versus, you're losing a tenant or two in a 30 unit apartment building. Well, that doesn't hit you so much. And again, commercial real estate, huge opportunities there. I mean, right now, for those of you in the know, you can actually do triple net leases. Those are leases where you not only charge the rent, but you also charge the insurance. You also charge the property taxes, and you also charge common area maintenance. And so, and that is, by the way, totally legit, and that is totally done all the time. So I was in an office one time, and many times actually, and we paid that triple net lease. The other thing that's good is office space is starting to grow back again. Now, some of these people that own offices are, maybe remodel them a little bit and that sort of thing. But that is an up and coming opportunity, along with demand for storage and warehouse space is huge. It's off the charts. Another final thing, and we'll wrap it up here in a few minutes. Vacation rental market is supposed to reach $107 billion by 2028. All right. Right now, it's only about 12.3 billion. So you see some opportunities there. Holy cow. And Americans are traveling. They're tired of being pent up and stuck in by COVID and all this other stuff that's going on. So people they're traveling. And so the vacation rental market is a great opportunity for you to make some money as an investor, but also to provide a great and needed service for people. They say in the midst of chaos, there is opportunity. And even in this market, both now and in the future, there will be opportunities if you know what to look for. So just a couple of quick final thoughts as far as finding bargain properties. One of the things you can do is, first of all, get educated. Know what to look for. Talk to people in your family, your friends, your sphere of influence, people at work. Get some good business cards, hand them out, let them know you're investing in real estate. You can also use the internet for searches, Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. Their estimates aren't always great, but the sold properties and the property descriptions are good. You could drive around for dollars and look for old for rent or for sale or rent signs. For sale or rent usually means a very, very motivated landlord. You can talk to bankers, look for old for sale by owner signs, or even if you have a realtor on your team, you can ask them to look at older or expired listings. I'm going to end today by Proverbs 21:5. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes over only to poverty. So what they're saying here is you have to be diligent. You have to get educated. You can't just do this on a wing and a prayer. The prayer helps, but you got to be educated. And so hopefully you guys will come and see us and meet all of us at the Wealth Builders Real Estate Workshop. Now I'm going to turn it back over to Karen.
Thank you so much, Frank. That's great insight and really gives us an idea of what you're going to be talking about at the upcoming workshop that's part of the Wealth Builders Conference. You said something in there that I think is so many things were really interesting, but vacation rentals always jumps out to me because I just love them. They're so fun. But with it going to over 100 billion is what is being projected. And it's just over 12 billion right now. Did I hear that correctly?
Yep.
Wow. So help me understand, Frank, because where is the increased appetite for that coming from, for an industry to grow that much when we still have hotels that are in business and around? Where they're expecting all that growth to come from?
Well, first of all, more investors are getting into the market, which means there's going to be more of these vacation rentals available. I mean, and the other thing too is, if you look what you'll pay for a hotel and what you'll pay for a vacation rental, you might pay a little more per night for a vacation rental, but look at what you get.
True. That's so true.
Huge. So people are starting to wise up to that, and vacation rentals are becoming more and more and more popular.
I can see that too. I was even thinking back to when we went through COVID, and, there's always looming threats of another pandemic. And it seems like they're always, talking about shutting down again. Well, there's hotels that shut down or made it almost impossible to stay there, or cut back so much on their staff that it wasn't a very good experience. And I really think that it harmed the industry long term, where people are thinking, well, hotel, I'm in this big complex with all these people. The hotels we were used to going to are closed or have very limited services. So people that weren't used to even considering vacation rentals turn to vacation rentals to have their own private place. And I think they found they like it.
Well, yeah. And I mean, vacation rentals really still are a little low profile. I don't think it's anything what it's going to be. I mean, there's TV shows now about vacation rentals and things like that on some of the HGTV channels and stuff. And they're pretty interesting. And like I say, I think the word is out, and it's just like a snowball. It's going to grow and grow and grow. And this is 2030. So we have a ways to go.
Yeah.
But look at 12.3 to 107.
That's great.
Significant growth. Yep.
Yeah. One of the workshops that I'm going to be doing in the real estate track is on vacation rentals, and then also just working with family. Levi is going to join me. There's people really how do you work with your family? Well, we're not perfect at it, but we are doing really well. And so we'll be sharing more about vacation rentals at the workshop. And then I'll give you some before and afters, which is always fun. And then you're going to hear from Frank, who will have some amazing topic, that we learn from. So again, I want to encourage you to attend this conference. We're very excited about it. Billy and Becky are so excited to see all of you. And you can register at wealthbuilders.org/events. Again, it's February 17th through the 19th. So thank you so much, Frank, for being a part of this podcast.
My pleasure.
And thank all of you, our Wealth Builders family, for tuning in. And we wish you a very, very happy new year. God bless you and make it a great rest of the day.
God bless you guys.
We hope you learned something of lasting value today from this Wealth Builders podcast. If you'd like any tools, teachings, or resources mentioned in the podcast, you'll find them online at wealthbuilders.org. Wealth Builders exists to teach you how to build wealth through applied biblical wisdom in your finances, your business, and your investments. Wealth Builders is a nonprofit organization. We depend on your donations to keep this podcast running. Please consider donating to us on WealthBuilders.